What's up, guys? So here it finally is, the Woodland Medium Alice, fully repaired and modded and ready to be taken out for a hike. Now, a recap on the mods. First things first, it had two left shoulder pads, which I unstitched and had sewn the other way. Not 100% symmetrical. As you can see, this one is the other left one is slightly more slanted than this one, but it's a decent job at the end of the day. It's still all right. It still provides that slant, to the opposite side, which is what I needed. But at the end of the day, I thought to myself, you know what? For a Woodland Alice, if I'm able to, I might as well pair it with some Woodland shoulder pads. And admittedly, it looks a lot better. I could still use these, but I'm just going to use them for something else. So in the end, these didn't come too expensive. They were 20 euros. And I bought similar pads to these, to the OD ones, for 20 euros in the past. So let's say, take 20 euros out, put 20 euros in. The cost didn't really change there. And next, and probably most importantly, was the top flap. And as you can see, it's got this nice waterproof material now. Let's see if I can get a better shot of this. There we go. Looks pretty decent. Sewing as well. Nice job from the tailors. See if I can zoom in. My God, man. Why is this out of focus? There you go, guys. So pretty decent job from the tailors all around. Just done really well. And obviously we can use the mat pocket now. Let me just show you on the inside what it looks like. There we go. It's got this fabric, this inner layer of soft fabric, and then the waterproof lining. So that's the second biggest thing that had to be done. And finally, the straps, which were missing. I've had these coyote brown straps sewn onto the lips really well, as you can see, both cases, and it just works. It looks pretty decent, even with coyote straps, I have to say. I'm actually pretty happy. And that's about it, guys. Final mod, just adding a little bit of webbing for the buckle upgrade. And that's about it, really, guys. Also featuring the Italian Army rucksack frame and its kidney pad, which is in woodland camouflage, so matches nicely. And it's just a winning combination. The Italian frame just works so well on a medium Alice, I have to say. And let me zoom out a little. Sorry, guys. That pouch is by Pro Textile. Made a little video on that recently, and just look how well this just rests in the webbing and just complements the pack so nicely. Let's see if I can get a profile shot. There we go. It just looks really good, man. Really, really good. So what can I say, guys? All the mods have been completed. The question is, was it worth it? Now, I've seen some stock Alice packs for around 150 to 170. plus shipping would be another 20 to 30. So around the 180 mark, really, the 170 to 180 mark. I spent in total 176, including the mods. So that's yeah, that's something to take into account. The real thing that really I wasn't expecting was the top flap. As you can see, the material cost me 10 euros and the sewing cost me another 10. That's really where I broke the bank. And had I noticed that flaw, because the thing is, the guy actually sent me a picture of the lid on the inside, but I didn't realize what I was looking at, because I just saw camo and I thought, oh, it's probably see-through or something. Like, I thought the waterproof fabric had been completely deteriorated and I could see through the other side of the camo, but instead I realized upon arrival it simply didn't have it. So other than that, the pack cost 120 plus another 10 shipping. 5 for the buckles, 6 for the handle, for the sewing of the handle, 4 for the straps, which were free, another 6 to fix the left shoulder strap. I mean, at the end of the day, even though I'm not using it on this setup, it's still a repair job that was part of this pack. So at the end of the day, I have to include it in this project. Frame and belt cost me 5 euros. That was the cheapest thing right there, and that actually is where I was hoping to make up a little bit of the lost money. And yeah, so in total, pretty much 30 euro repair, which was quite a bit. I was expecting 10, or actually I was expecting less than that. I was expecting around 4 to 5, which is what I needed. It was actually 4 for the straps. So, but the top flap, the waterproof lining, that's really where I might either lose out on the resale or break even, just because after all this effort has been put in this pack, I'm hoping that I won't lose money on the resale, but I won't know anytime soon, because after all this effort, I'm definitely keeping it. Not unless I mean, I run into a stock Alice that is in better condition than this one. But other than the straps missing, guys, I mean, the pack is flawless. The pack is pristine. It's brand new. So I have to say, ultimately, I'm actually really happy with this repair job. It definitely cost me more than I planned. But the thing is, once I realized the cost of that it was going to cost me more to repair the top flap, which I didn't predict. The thing is, returning it, I already paid 10 euros in shipping to get it. Returning it would have been at least another 5, 6, so I would have lost almost 20 euros anyway. So I figured, screw it, it's an extra 20 euros. And the thing is, the inner lining was a completely lucky find, a real lucky find. Because I went on eBay and online to source Cordura-like material or stuff like that, waterproof linings, waterproof material, and it was just way too expensive. So I thought to myself, wow, this is not even worth it. So initially I planned on repairing it and, at least what was possible, and then selling it off, because I didn't want an Alice pack without the top lid, or the top flap, mat pocket. This is absolutely a crucial piece of this setup that I absolutely love, because I store my rain cover in here. So, and plus it just would have looked off, it was just too thin, didn't look nice. But as you can see, guys, this looks really good, brand new, really good sewing from the tailors. And the straps in Coyote Brown, I have to say, look really nice on this pack. It doesn't feel like a hack job. It feels like a legitimate, really nice way to, salvage a pack. Especially, in this case, a beautiful medium woodland Alice. So what can I say, guys? The cheaper option for the frame is what I was going for anyway, just because this was really cheap, and I particularly like the Italian frame on my medium Alice packs. I think it's just a winning combination. Plus, it came with a free kidney pad in matching camouflage, so I couldn't have asked for anything better. And the fact that it's a bit thinner, a bit slimmer. I mean, the thickness is there, don't get me wrong, but it's just the profile. It's not as big as, at least not as tall as an Alice kidney pad, and it's definitely not as bulky as a Molly 2 kidney pad. It's definitely not as cumbersome. For a medium Alice, something like this is more than enough. And yeah, just adding the extra little touch, this pouch on the side just looks really good. Because normally what I like to do is run a utility pouch on the webbing here for my medium Alice packs. But in this case, I thought to myself, what could I do, I could probably go with with one that I have in OD. It would be the best suited ones out of the ones that I do have. But then I thought to myself, no, I want to stick with absolutely only woodland camouflage. And I was lucky enough to run into this, so that's going to be my utility pouch. And yeah, it's just going to have to be like that. So, what can I say, guys? Finally done. Really happy with the end result. Did I pay more than I should have? Definitely. Definitely overpaid at least 20 euros more than what I should have. At least 20 euros more, if not 30 to 40. But hey, I really didn't expect the top flat mod. And although I was aware of this mod that I had to undertake, because I saw the two left pads, ultimately that didn't cost too much, and I wasn't too worried about that, because I thought, you know what, that's doable, it's definitely doable. But had I not run into this fabric, the waterproof fabric, then I would have been really annoyed, and I might have simply repaired it as best I could just to sell it off, and then try to basically at least get the money that I spent for it. But now with all the mods and all the repairs, it just looks really good, guys. I'm really happy with the end result. It's got the handle as well, sewn in through the D-rings, so I can still make use of them. And yeah, at the end of the day, I ran into some Alice bits and bobs, which were basically a set of shoulder pads, some sternum straps, and a few of these extra quick release straps. And I figured, you know what? The medium woodland Alice deserves the woodland shoulder pads. I think it just looks really good. And what can I say, guys? That's pretty much it. Finally, all the mods have been done. So yeah, just to recap, 176 euros. Pretty pricey. Definitely pretty pricey. And I have to say, this kind of started out as a venture in repairing a pack that I never managed to purchase in the end. So I kind of got stubborn, and I was looking for something to repair. Or not something, I was looking for a medium woodland Alice, and then I thought to myself, well, it costs a little less than a stock Alice from eBay, so I figured I could probably, I didn't need the extra frame. I didn't necessarily need it to be stock, because I thought, if I can save up a bit of money and just repair it, it'll still be good enough for me, for my needs, and most likely still have good enough resale value. But yeah, at the end of the day, I still spent quite a pretty penny. But what can I say? Still less overall, still less than a stock Alice, because if we're not counting the mods that I would have done anyway on any Alice pack, It still cost me like $165, but it's still quite a bit of money, guys. That's still way too much money, honestly. The main reason I purchased this, as I mentioned, is kind of because I thought I have the straps, so I don't have to, source them. I don't have to pay for the straps in order to repair this pack. Had I not had the straps, I would have never even contemplated undertaking this project. And then, yeah, once I found out about the top flap, I figured, you know what? If I'm going to repair it, I just have to do a good job on this. Or at least I didn't do anything on this, but at least, I sourced the right materials. And, even that takes effort, believe it or not. Because you just have to, scour the internet for the right components and at the right price, most importantly. The top flap, as I mentioned, or the material, cost me €5 plus 5 in shipping, so 10. That was still quite good, and it was a generous piece of fabric that I can repair other packs with. So you can kind of divide the cost up amongst the packs. But because, to be fair, I bought it for this pack alone, so it still counts as €10 for this pack. Because all the other packs that I have that have deteriorated top flaps, they're still usable. It's fine. I never even thought of doing anything to them until now. Because I have the right material. But had I not had that material, I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have repaired this as best I could and just sold it right off. Whereas now, I'm super stoked. This looks really good, feels really good. And the pack in itself, like I said, guys, other than this, which at the end of the day, it still looks good. With coyote brown straps, it still looks really nice. I don't see a problem with it. And the pack in itself, as I mentioned, is in pristine condition. So I'm hoping someday when I put this back up for sale, I won't lose out. At least not lose out on the money that I spent on it, because this was definitely an expensive project. Way more expensive than I would have otherwise liked. Simply because I don't like to purchase at retail price, and I don't really like to purchase an Alice pack for that much money. But the thing is, I have other Alice packs that I've changed the suspension system out, say, and that cost me money. So I figured in this case the suspension system was really cheap. What was really expensive were the repairs. But it had to be done, guys. It just had to be done. Anyway, I think I've been babbling on long enough now. What is it, 18 minutes? I hope I've showcased the pack in all its glory. It really does look good now, guys. That pouch, I love that pouch. It just complements the pack so nicely. Look at that. It's made for this pack. And it just rests there really nicely. Camo shoulder pads, woodland camo shoulder pads, and kidney pad as well. So, and the all-time essential piece of gear, the sternum strap. Not just any sternum strap, but the Alice sternum strap. So that complements this whole setup really nicely. What can I say, guys? I think that's about it. I'm just really happy overall. It turned out really well. And had this Alice not been in such great condition, I probably would have never undertook this project. But even though it was a little bit more expensive than I planned, it still turned out really well. I'm actually really happy with this. So what can I say, guys? I guess the next step is going to be testing this out. And thanks for watching. And hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got some ideas out of it. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.